Hey, it's your girl Barbie J here, and we are talking about Tyler Perry's dramedy Sisters. Season 4, Episode 6, Hard to Get. Now, who is it that's hard to get, or what is it that's hard to get? Who was this title referring to? Is it hard to get for, let's see, Zach to find a good investment bank? Is it hard for Gary to get Andy back? Is Danny playing hard to get with these three men? Is it hard for I'm just figuring out Preston to get Danny back, but I don't know why. I don't know why it would be. It's just crazy. I don't know what this title was. It probably fits all of them, to be honest. But anyway, let's get on with this episode. I kind of enjoyed that exchange between Karen and Aaron in the salon because she was trying any and everything, every excuse to say it's Zach's baby. And Aaron was jabbing her, getting her, blocking her at every turn. Bing, 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 bing. I was like, what is going on, Karen? Are you for real with this? She gonna tell him she pregnant, and he says, okay. And she's like, that's all you gotta say? He's like, well, how far along are you? I don't know yet. Then shit, okay. It was like, what? And she's like, you gotta say more than that. He said, well, forgive me. I'm doing the math in my head. I said, that's my man. That's my man. That's my man. Do that math in your head. Because she has no idea. So she is insisting that to him that baby is not his, it's not yours. He said, how do you know? The window of consent is too tight. And she's like, I'm sorry, it's not yours. And he's like, what? And then she was like, well, you know what? She said, I was trying to tell you, but you upset me. I'm just trying to tell you so you stop pursuing me. He was like, what? Do you think because you're going to have a baby? He said that I'm going to stop pursuing you, that I'm going to stop loving you. He said, I'm going to love you. And if it's my baby, I'm going to love it. And he said, I'm going to love that baby. And if it's mine, especially love it. He's saying all the right things. She said, could you stop saying all the right things? I don't want to hear that. I was like, girl, you done lost your mind. He said, and he was like, what is it? Do you want the baby to be Zach? Said, not mine. She said, look, Zach has moved on. He said, but have you? I said, ooh, ooh, ooh. I was cracking up. I said, here we go now. I love Aaron right now. But he did say to her, I'm not trying to upset you. I'm just telling you how I feel, and he said, and I feel like that, the time frame is too close behind. You don't even know how far along you are, so you don't know it's not mine. He said, I feel like you're just trying to stay connected to Zach. And she said, you're not, he said, you're not over him, are you? And she admitted she wasn't. And then she keeps harping on that 3 years of history. I'm like, let it go, girl. Let it go. Girl, let it go, honey. That don't mean a damn thing. Listen to Barbie J, honey. Let it go. I had like 10 years with a man and had to let him go. People get divorced all the time. They got to let it go, girl. You ain't had no kids, you ain't buy nothing with him. Y'all ain't had nothing together. Them 3 years meant nothing when he was cheating on you or whatever else you complained about. Let it go. Thank you. And And so he's like, well, what do you want me to do? Be there for me, but I need space. I need to be single. She need to be single and get ready and prepare for the baby. People don't want to be alone when they have a baby. What is she asking him for time alone from him while she prepare for the baby? That don't even make a damn bit of sense. You need somebody with you. And if there's a father in the picture, you need to let the right father be there. But do y'all think she crazy enough? Answer this question in the comment section. Do y'all think Karen is crazy enough to go to that doctor's appointment and lie if that doctor say it's Aaron's baby or whoever it is, and she'll lie and say it's Zach's? She'll lie to both of them. Do you think she crazy enough to do that right now? Because that's where I seen her leaning towards crazy. That's all I got. So then it goes over to Pam. Oh, Lord. Pam is a hot mess. She out there talking to Preston, trying to get all up in Preston's business. And Preston is snapping back like he a true brother. Like he was Zach or something. The way he was coming back at Pam, I said, oh, snap. Listen to Preston. when he said that everything is copacetic. It's copacetic when Pam was trying to find out what happened between him and Danny. And she was like, that ain't telling me shit. And he was like, that's the point. I said, oh, snap. He had me going. Preston was funny. And then when Pam said, oh, so that's how it is? That's how cowboys do it? He said, what's that? Blacking the biatch? And he was like, no, just this one. I said, I was like, I can't even with him. I'm like, what just happened to him? What just happened to Preston, y'all? Because Preston was not like that with Danny. So how was he like that with Pam? He didn't just switch overnight. So something ain't right here. And Pam was cracking me up because she still kept going. He couldn't even deter her to stop. I was rolling. I was rolling that whole scene. Because she was like, you calling me a biatch? And he said, no, you called yourself one. And I just referred back to it. I'm sorry, y'all. And then she told me he coming up in there smelling like cow-ish, And she said, you made me change my mind from wanting to date a white boy. And he's like, not this one. She's like, I don't care because you come up here smelling like that. What's your fragrance? Maneuver? He said it's not maneuver, it's manure. I'm sorry. I got a kick out of this whole scene. I think my whole video going to be about the salon. It's too much. Anyway, let me move on. But then when Karen came out, Preston admitted that he did want her to call Danny and that he wanted Danny to know that he had other options and all kind of stuff and yada, yada, yada. So I don't know why they haven't Preston acting like that because when he left that time, he was done when he left her house. So that was crazy. Anyway, then let's switch over to Fatima. She was chatting in the office with Andy and she's saying how she loved her handbag and oh, that bag looked like it cost about $5,000. She said, sure does. She said, but I didn't buy it. She said, oh, really? She said, you want to guess who bought it? She said, Robin. She said, no, you want to guess again? She said, no. Because she knew it was Gary's the only person. Then she showed him a picture of the car. She said, is that a Rolls Royce? She's like, yep. And she said, I got a friend who could sell all this stuff for you. And she said, oh my God, you sound just like Karen. I said, oh, there it is. And she said, well, speaking of Karen, and then she tell her what happened, how she answered Zach's phone, and all that went down with that. And she said, I swear I didn't know because they had the same phone. And of course, Andy thought she was lying. But she said, the Zach I know used to sleep with his phone under his pillow had the phone in his pocket. So she said, really? Because that's not what he did with me. She said, matter of fact, he gave me his password. She said, say what? She said, yep. Andy was shocked. She said, but I didn't give him mine. She said, I told him he ain't ready for that. She said, I hear that, girl. And they slapped 5. Then what else happened? Gary shows up at Zach's house with Jake, just to make the introductions and stuff. And Jake, after they talked, Jake decided to, help Zach with some of the home improvements. But he did ask Zach what bank he has his money in. Do you mind me asking? And Zach was like, I do mind, but I'm going to answer it. So he told him about Brookhaven Trust. And he's like, oh, no, you need more of an investment bank to do your money. And Zach said, here we go. Here you go. I knew it. He's like, because, you got to pay for those types of banks to manage your money. And then they get the fees and all that stuff like that. I mean, they get money for helping you invest. Anyway, what else happened? Fuego shows up at the airport. Danny, turns him down, turns him away or whatever. And while she's talking to Fuego, Logan is standing in the background watching. And when Fuego walk away, he goes, oh, she turned down everybody. And Fuego's like, yeah, right. So then Logan steps up and gets his chance to shoot, to get shot down by her. And she's like, oh my God, this is just ridiculous. So she let him know she's not a fan of him pressuring her. I told you I'll let you know when I was ready. Leave it at that. He's like, oh, just drinks and everything. And she was sick of him, Then she got him to leave. Her phone rang. She answered and it was Preston. I said, okay, I'm kind of liking her with all of these options with all the different men. But I want her to know who she is and what she wants. because when Preston called and said he wanted to go and meet her, with her, she told him she had a date, which she did not have a date. She didn't even want to go to Andy's house, but I guess that's what she's calling her date, you know. And then he told her that he went back to the salon hoping to run into her, that he really liked her, and I guess something like he missing her and stuff. And she was like, she was like, okay, trying to be all cool, but she knows she was eating that up inside, enjoying what he was saying. So she arranged to meet with him like an hour before she has to be at the other place or leave. Then she hangs up from him and she immediately she sit down and calls Karen and thanks Karen for not calling her again when Preston came back into the salon. She said, "Oh, She said, "Yeah, he called me and told me." She said, "Well, you're welcome." She said, "I made sure I wasn't going to call you." She said, "I appreciate that because I've been in an ishy mood ever since you did that." So she's like, "No, I wasn't going to call you." So anyway, what do you want to talk about with us tonight? She said, "I'll tell you when y'all all together." She's like, "Okay, whatever, Karen." And she hung up from her. Then Karen calls Andy and asks her to invite Fatima that night. I'm saying, what? What do you want to invite Fatima for? And Andy's like, I don't think so. She's like, I don't know what is going on. She said, please just invite her. You got to trust me. She said, no, I don't trust you. Sorry. Not for that. Not with that. She said, do you understand who you guys are? She don't want no drama. Y'all both carry guns. I'm not having it. But then she does a three-way. After she hangs up with Karen, she calls Sabrina and was it Danny? And she tells them about what Karen asked about wanting her to invite Fatima. And so they trying to figure out what the heck is going on. What's up? And Danny goes, I hope she's going to tell us why she acting the crazy way she been behaving lately and stuff. And they were like, you think it has something to do with Zach? They doing all of that. So they said, yeah. And don't you remember she asked you to invite her to the strip club as well? And they just like, Andy's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not inviting her. But then later when she thought about it, said, oh, Fatima just might show up if I asked her to come. So Danny decided she gonna come. She said, you know what? I think I'm gonna come and I'm gonna bring the popcorn. They were like, stop, Danny. But Danny, right, bring that pop the popcorn, girl, because it's gonna be a showdown if Fatima show up. Huh? But truthfully, they don't know that Fatima already knows about it. So even if Fatima showed up and when Karen called herself saying it, Fatima would have already be prepared to respond if a response is needed at all, which it ain't. Let's be real. No response is needed, honey. So Fatima comes into Andy's office and tell her she about to leave for the evening and stuff. Did she need anything else? And she said no. But then she asked her if she had any plans for tonight. She said no, I have none. She said, well, save an hour for me just in case. And she said, okay, whatever you need, I'll be there. And then she was saying something like, do you need me to she's doing these movements like, do we need to be fighting or something like that? She said, no, we don't need any more dangerous activity. She's like, oh, okay, cool. Let me know. Then they had this short little scene with Calvin. Maurice comes home. Calvin's on the couch. And Maurice is trying to act like he knows what went down. And Calvin's like, did Sabrina tell you she told you? And he pretended that he knew stuff. But he should have just shut up while Calvin told his side. Because Calvin's like, he said, why don't you tell your side? But Maurice started acting like he knew what to say instead of just letting Calvin say it. So Calvin busted him and said, oh, you didn't even know what Sabrina said. So he's like, man, get out of my face. And he's like, whatever. And he walked away. I don't know what the purpose of that scene was for. It wasn't even needed, but I'm just letting y'all know. All right. Then there was Preston showing up to Danny's apartment. And they're talking. And I'm just going to make this brief. Preston basically was saying, show me, Danny. Teach me. Tell me. And what it is you like and don't like. Let me know. And she's sitting there going, you a grown-ass man, you should know. And I'm sorry, Danny. The grown-ass man thought it was a nice romantic thing to get in your house early and cook for you, but you didn't like that. The grown-ass man thought it was okay to bring his sister to your house because he was starting to live there. That wasn't okay. the grown-ass man thought he could handcuff you to the bed like you handcuffed him. That wasn't okay. You know what? Do you see the track record? All of the things he thought was okay to do, you didn't think it was okay. So he's asking you to show him so he doesn't mess up and do the wrong thing. She's like, you got a lot to learn about me and all this stuff. Girl, please. It's just drama. It's unnecessary. I know it's one thing that he might have his own way. Y'all from different cultures and backgrounds. He has his way of doing things that he think is romantic or whatever. And you have your expectations that are not fitting his. I know one thing, we still ain't seen them go out together. So she can't have that much love for him. And she doesn't even want to be seen in public with him as of yet. So I don't know what it is that Preston is seeing in Danny right now, especially the way she's been behaving and treating him. But I just didn't like that scene. I thought it was a waste of time. I thought she would say something like, I don't mind. I'll show you. I'll teach you. Instead of being kind of dismissive and like, you know what, dude, you got to figure it out on your own. But the thing is, as he figures it out on his own, you're getting upset with him with the stuff he's doing. So it makes no sense to me. And what killed me is he told Danny he was thinking about her the whole entire time he was with that other girl. I said, that's because she showed up to the salon all dressed up, looking sexy and stuff, which she wasn't really dressing too much like that with him. But she sit there and goes, I know. Like, I know you can't help but think about me. I was like, girl, you need to be a little bit more humble. But what he was saying is that while he was with that other girl, he said it seemed so easy. And all he kept saying to himself is, why can't it be this easy with us? Meaning with her and him and Danny. And she said, well, I'm not her. But it was easy for him. And she's making it difficult, I think. But if they really have nothing in common, then they need to let that go. Because if one is not willing, well, he has been willing to learn things that she liked, but Danny hasn't been willing to learn things that he loves. So that's why it's never going to work. It's never going to work. So then Fatima shows up at Zach's house and she meets Jake, and she asked him what school did he go to and stuff, and he said that he was she asked him, was he a contractor? And he said no. And that's when Zach said he's actually a hedge fund manager. And he said, remember that basketball game you didn't want me to go to? Well, I met him. He said, well, I met this other dude named Gary who he makes a whole lot of money. He be rolling in the dough. And this guy, Jake, works for him. And she's like, really? And then she told him the name of the company. And she said, Gary, huh? She said, what's Gary's last name? He said Borders. And she said, oh, okay. But the guy looked like he was feeling uncomfortable standing there. He said, look, I'm going to head out. And he bounced and told Zach good luck, because it was something with, he heard them talking about the cell phone and the passwords and stuff like that. Anyhow, and he did answer her when she asked what school he went to. And he did say Harvard. I know I started that and then I switched to something, but she's like, oh, good school, So Zach was feeling all big and bad and everything. I don't know. He's feeling good, but I hope this doesn't backfire when Gary finds out that Zach is with Fatima. You think Gary will hold that against Zach and mess up his money? Because, he don't care much for Fatima. So we don't know what's in that mind of Gary's right now, other than trying to get Andy back. Oh, yeah, but before that guy left, Zach said to him, do you know how to play some ball? And he said, yeah, I know how to play. He said, which side are you, the black or the white side? He said, I guess the black side know how to run, but the white side know how to shoot a basket. He said, I played in college. He said, okay, in Harvard, So anyway, he said, well, we're going to be playing ball, matter of fact, tonight. And he was like, that if you come by, if you have time, he said, come by and you could be on my team. Now, Gary already told Zach he was going to be on his team if he comes back. So we'll see how that works out. But I thought that was funny. He was like, the white side or the black side? He said, well, let me go check on my girl first and I'll be back. He said, that's right, because I'm checking on my girl now, Anyhow, what else happened? Again, Andy gets that call from Karen wanting to know she's confirming that she is invited Fatima and stuff. And she's like, what is this about all about? And she's like, why does it concern? She said, well, it concerns Fatima. Well, she's like, why? She said, can't you trust me? She's like, no, I cannot. I don't. She said, I don't, she don't want no drama. Y'all both carry guns, and I'd rather, you know, Karen said, I'd rather y'all all be around when I share the information and stuff. I said, is she trying to like not trap or ambush her? Like she thinks she's gonna do an ambush and stuff, but like I said, they don't know. Fatima already knows about the pregnancy. So what's her purpose of trying to do that in front of all her girls and leave and have Fatima there to try to what? Put it in her face like I'm gonna be in your life and I'm still connected to Zach. I mean, what is Karen gonna do? What is the purpose of having Fatima there? Y'all let me know down in the comment section because she looking messy right now. I'm back to messy Karen because that's what it sounded like. She's being messy. So she told her to make sure she calls her. And she said, I will. As soon as I hang up from you, I'll call her. Man, Andy was like, hell to the N to the O. I'm not even calling her. So then she's getting home and she's almost in her apartment and Gary's calling her and Andy's like, okay, are you following me or something? Are you tracking me? Because you know how those police know, she started talking about the police thing and she wouldn't answer his phone. She kept hanging up and then she finally stopped and answered it when she got outside her door. And he's like, well, you haven't been calling me back after I had those police do that thing, stop and sing to you. And she said, that was kind of sweet. She admitted how much she liked it and stuff, said Karen was in the car with me. Karen didn't care for it. So he kept trying to find a reason to come by and see her. He said, I think you would want to see me. And she's like, nope. She said, oh, my phone is ringing. And she hung up on him and answered the phone. And I guess it was Karen saying she's on her way or whatever. And she's like, okay, I'm at my apartment now. And when she walks in that freaking door, everything is gone. Her apartment is super empty. And we already know that he done got her the penthouse up there. But it's so funny. I have to say something. She don't want to talk to Gary. She trying to act shady to Gary. Andy's doing all of this to get. But meanwhile, she carrying that damn pocketbook he just bought her. And those red bottom shoes was probably the ones he got her. She in there wearing his stuff she gave and she's enjoying it and everything, that $5,000 pocketbook. But she don't have time for him. I was like, girl, you need to stop. If you done with him, you done with him. Don't be taking his stuff, sell it. Give it as a gift to a friend. Do whatever. But anyway, y'all let me know down in the comment section. For those of you who have not subscribed to my channel, please take a moment right now and subscribe. That's right, help Barbie J's channel grow. And once you hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, and it'll let you know every time I upload a new video. And then I ask that you write a comment, hit the like button, and share the video. Okay? Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Thank you. This your girl Barbie J saying peace.